Fury Nation, I hope this finds everyone doing well, staying safe as we continue to navigate through this interesting time that we are going through right now. I appreciate the response to us. You're trying to gather some questions and get some information out. You guys have been great with this, and the excitement has been great from the get-go with all of this. And you know, just what has been built and how it's been built is really exciting. And I hate that we're having to do this way right now. Hopefully soon we'll be able to gather, have parent meetings, team meetings, things like that. But right now we know the situation we're all in, and so we'll continue to just navigate through it this way. Again, it was a great response to all the questions that have been sent in. I've got some great questions to run through here. And really what all I'm trying to do right now is just get some information out to y'all. With us not being able to meet, with us not being able to be around the players or parents right now, it's tough to get all this information out. And I know there's a lot of questions and a lot of things that people want to know. And so that's what we're looking to accomplish, right here. Starting out with that, I did have some personal questions here. Where do I come from? I'm actually from Simpsonville, South Carolina. Grew up there, lived there my whole life. Graduated Hillcrest in 2002. Went on to University of South Carolina and have really called the upstate home my entire life. My family, my wife and kids, we actually live in Greenville right now. And hopefully we'll be moving towards the Fountain Inn area here soon. But this has been home to me from the get-go, and that was just one of the many things that was really exciting about this job and about this opportunity that made it appealing to me. So I am a local guy from just right down the road, and really excited about being back to be a part of this community, or continue to be a part of this community. Are you an offensive-minded coach? Well, my background has been on the offensive side. My last job, I was offensive coordinator at Gardner Webb University for 7 years. Before that, I was at North Greenville for a year. So I've been in a couple places, and I've always coached on the offensive side of the ball. That being said, I understand the importance of defense. That's one thing people don't realize as much. I spend a whole lot more time talking about defense and learning defense and studying defense, being an offensive coach. So that's really prepared me to be able to look at things as a whole and look at the big picture. But yes, I do have an offensive background. I was a quarterback, and like I said, I've coached quarterbacks and really the offensive side of the ball my whole career. What kind of offense do you plan on getting in? Well, my thoughts on offense are this. I want to make a defense defend 53 1/3. What that means is the width of the field. I want them having to cover every blade of grass out there and putting them in situations where we can create advantages for our guys on offense and make life tough for the defense. On the flip side, I know what is tough on defenses, and so I know how to counteract that. So again, I'm excited about getting to deal with things more on both sides of the ball and be aggressive and be physical. And that's going to be the key to everything we're doing on both sides of the ball. But like I said, my biggest thing is making people cover space, making them be gap sound, and understand the fundamentals are what wins this game, and not cute pass routes or trick plays or anything like that. That's part of it, and we have fun doing that. But what's going to win the games is being sound on defense and being sound on offense and getting out there and executing. That's just kind of a brief football philosophy there, summed up for you. Again, you're going with my background and what I've studied throughout my career, and what I think is difficult to defend and what I think is difficult to run offensive plays against. Just kind of taking all that and putting it all together. So the next group of questions are more really about what our next move as a Fountain Inn High School football team can be. This coming year, we will field a D team. So our middle school team, which will consist of 7th and 8th graders that are zoned for Fountain Inn High School. And so we'll be able to take our entire coaching staff and myself, including everything, and focus 100% on the youngest guys that are going to be in our program, which again, add it to the list of the things that made this job really appealing to me. Being able to build a program that obviously hadn't existed, hadn't played in however long is exciting, but to do it this way, I really feel is the most effective, and it's the right way to do it. Because in a few years down the road, when these 7th and 8th graders that have been in the program throughout the whole time are juniors and seniors, it's going to show, and we're going to be able to instill our program, instill our beliefs and our standards, and build the culture that we want to build, within our program. And like I said, focus 100% of everything we got, starting with this first group. So we will have a 7th and 8th grade D team this year. Now, like I said, that'll be all the kids at Rudolph Gordon School and Bryson Middle School that are zoned for Fountain High School, moving forward. Like I said, will next year 7th graders have an opportunity? Yes. So like I said, 7th and 8th graders will be able to play, on this team. As we're going, everything will be, housed at Rudolph Gordon. So our practices, games, everything, that will be where we base out of. That being said, we know people will be having to come from Bryson to get there. So, our practice schedule, how we're going to coordinate all that, we're still having to determine. We'll figure that out, as we move towards everything. But everything will be at Rudolph Gordon. And like I said, that'll just kind of be our home base for this year while the school, the Fountain High School is being built, with us moving in there next school year. Will there be tryouts and all that stuff? Everybody that wants to be a part of this program is going to come out, and we will assess everything. Like I said, all 7th and 8th graders. I want to build a program that people want to be a part of, and everybody's got their different skill level, everybody's got their different experience, and that's part of our job, is getting in there and incorporating all that together to build this program. And so we will have everything, like I said, with it being at Rudolph Gordon for all of our 7th and 8th graders. Do you need a physical prior to tryouts and everything? Yes. So all of that information will be able to get out there, as we move closer to everything. Now, obviously, with everything that's going on with COVID and all that, our time frame on things and when we're going to be able to gather, when we're going to be able to start workouts, when we're going to be able to do anything is still unknown. It's still up in the air. So we're trying to work to be ready when that time is. All that information we will be getting out. Now, with that being said, one thing I do want to point out, and be on the lookout for, and we'll be tweeting it out and getting out there as much as we can, is just, we're going to put out another Google form similar to what we did to take questions to start getting information for the players that are going to be interested in playing. Just name, contact stuff, all of that. And so we're going to be able to start compiling all that, and then I can start contacting people and start meeting parents, start doing all that, even if we're still in a position where we can't gather. So be on the lookout for that. And like I said, we'll be tweeting that out and making sure that everybody has access to it, so we can go ahead and start compiling all that for our to build our program as we're going. Let's see, what grade can the boys start playing? Like I said, 7th and 8th grade, both will be able to play with us this year. All right, so moving forward, on down the road, so like I said, we'll have our 7th and 8th grade team this year. The next year, when Fountain High School actually opens, we will have a 9th grade team as well. So we'll have our middle school team that we're still carrying on and building and doing what we're doing right here, and then we'll add our 9th grade team as we have our 9th grade class move into the high school. Now, the high school will add a grade every year, so it'll be 9th grade, 9th and 10th, 9th and 11th, and so on, as we go. So that's how we'll phase into all of this. So that's how down the road, that's how things are looking at as we move into the high school to doing all that. What are the pros of a football team for a new school if it's only 9th graders? Well, again, when I talk about the things that got me excited about this job, it is the idea of course, building a program from nothing and being able to work with these kids from the very beginning. Not step into it and have varsity, JV, C team, D team your first year, where the young guys don't get quite the attention that we're going to be able to give them this year. As we move into that next year with a 9th grade team, it's the same kind of thing that you're continuing to build, even with just a 9th grade class. As we add our the next year, so our 9th and 10th grade class, we will play a full varsity schedule with 9th and 10th graders. So again, that will be exciting because we'll be preparing for that from the moment we start. But what I see as exciting as a player, it's just an opportunity to be a guy and contribute from the time you step foot on campus. And like I said, you have our 9th grade team. We'll play a full 9th grade schedule, preparing us for that full varsity schedule the next year. So I see it as a great opportunity for a lot of guys to get ready to play ball and get ready to play ball at a high level very quick in their high school careers. Let's see. As we go on through, got a lot of other questions here that kind of bounce around. With that point being there, one thing that was really cool, someone submitted, this is probably my favorite question I got. Um, and I'll read it exactly how it was sent in. You are a high-level college athlete. Does it bother you that your sister was always way better than you and a state championship swimmer? So first thing I'll tell you, in my family, I had one sister and mom, dad, and I was number 4 on the athletic ranking. My mom was in the Union High School Hall of Fame. She was a great basketball player. My dad was a 2-sport athlete at Furman, also in the Union High School Hall of Fame. My sister, like we just said, state championship, swimmer, the first one in Hillcrest history. And then there's me. So I mean, I'm fourth on the totem pole. So I got no problem admitting that. But that brought up a really cool point. My sister, like I said, she was the first individual state champion swimmer at Hillcrest when they started swimming as a high school league sport. And think about it. Everybody in Fountain High School, is going to have an opportunity to be the first. Fill in the blank. So I mean, who's going to be the first guy to score a touchdown? Who's going to be the first sack? Who's going to be the first interception? All those things, just in football, that's exciting. And that's exciting to me. As a team, as a player, all that. As we move into the high school and as all of our other sports coming on, who's going to be the first team to win a region championship? Who's going to be the first team to win a state championship? That kind of stuff is how you can be legendary and how things can be made. And, you don't get those opportunities everywhere. So that question kind of you brought that point up, and I thought that was really cool. And it was also making fun of me for being the least athletic person in my family. So I appreciate that. This is a really good question. I like. How will you be able to get our kids recruited? All right, so that is the biggest topic in high school football, just across the board, everywhere in the country. How can we get recruited? How can we get prepared to play in college? For the past decade, recruiting has been as important of a thing in my career as anything. In college, when you're building your programs and you're part of a program, recruiting is what makes or breaks you. And so you're finding those right kids, obviously that are great players, but finding those right fits are huge. And the guys that do a good job recruiting, go on and have great seasons and have great jobs and get opportunities. The guys that don't take recruiting seriously, they usually don't get to keep jobs. That's just how important it is. So I've been on the other side of it for a long time. I know what coaches are looking for, obviously athletically and all that stuff, but even more importantly, the stuff off the field, the character issues, the things that you're going to want to add to your program. And I can help these young men understand the value of it, and walk them through the whole process. I mean, I know the NCAA rules, like the back of my head because I had to for 10 years. And I know, like I said, I have such great relationships for a lot of the guys that are going to recruit this area. So I look forward to them coming by the school, as we get going and get into this thing. And they're going to come by and they're going to come look. People don't get overlooked. A lot of people like to think they get left out or overlooked. It doesn't happen. These guys, when they recruit, they do the legwork, and they're going to find the kids out there that are going to be great fits for their program. But it's a whole lot more than just the stats you put on the field. Obviously, your film is going to be your biggest resume, and what you're able to do for your team is the big, one of the biggest things you can do. But when they come to this school and they're talking to me, and they're talking to the guidance office, they're talking to principals, they're talking to janitors, they're going to talk to everybody. They're going to find out what kind of kid this person is, and if it's something they want to bring in their program. Because if someone who's not the character program kid that you want, that's going to do a whole lot more bad than good. And so again, just being able to help these guys understand that at a young age through the whole process, I think I'll be able to really help them in that. Like I said, everybody's got opportunities, and everybody's going to have their opportunities to get their film out there and get put out there. People don't get overlooked. But I think a lot of the relationships I have at all levels, from the Power Five, the ultimate, the highest of the high, and down to every other level. I got connections. I got people that I know they're going to be recruiting our area, and I'll make sure that they always have every bit of information that they need, and I'll do everything I can to give every kid every opportunity that they might want to have. And so I mean that was a great question that was submitted, and want to make sure that y'all understand. I know a priority, and I know that is a huge priority. But as a recruiter, when I was recruiting, the biggest things, like I said, all the character and all the off the field stuff, that's always going to carry a whole lot of weight. But being the best player you can be for your team is always going to say more than anything. It's not going to this school because they throw it more, this school because they run it more, this school they play this defense, or all that stuff. That's great. But being the best player for your team is what's going to get you opportunities, and doing the right things and being a great player, being a great teammate. That's what gets you your opportunities. So yeah, that again, great question. I want to make sure you spend a little time you're doing on that. What will your summer schedule be like? Right now, I'm not sure. Hopefully in the next month, so we'll be able to start doing something. What that is, I don't know. But when we are, when they do, open it up to where we can do things, we're going to be ready to go and be ready to condition, be ready to get in the weight room as much as possible, do all the things that we want to do to prepare for our season as quick as possible. That being said, we could be in a situation where we don't get to do much this summer. So I'm preparing for both. But like I said, we're not going to get the green light and not be ready. So we'll be communicating, we'll be putting it out there, and everybody's going to know as soon as we get that. But we're working to be in a position to roll as soon as we get that green light. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but like I said, we're kind of still in the standstill, wait and see moment, and we'll just see how it all plays out. All right, this again, great question. How does someone apply for a position on your staff with our team that we're going to have? I want community involvement. I want people in this area. I'm going to find great coaches that are going to be a part of this. And the biggest thing that I'm always going to look for are obviously guys that are going to do the right thing. That's a given. That's a standard in our program, and that's something that we're all going to be expected to do. But I want to find coaches that do it for the right reason. And what I mean by that is coaching at all levels, high school, college, NFL, whatever. It can be a lot. There can be a lot of ego, and it can be driven by a lot of ego, a lot of selfish reasons. And that's not what I want. I don't want guys around our program, around our kids that are about themselves. I go through the interview process. One of the biggest things that I told Principal Tiller, Coach Bill, all through this. As a coach, the biggest job I've got, most important job I've got, is creating the best experience I can for every kid in this program. And that means obviously I want to be the best football team. And, the experience are a whole lot more fun when you're winning. But ultimately, I want to give them everything that they need to be successful. And that's playing football. That's after we're done playing football. That's when they're in the classroom. That's when they move on. And it don't matter. That's what I think this platform allows me to do, is to provide these kids with, one, a great experience, but two, the tools that are going to be necessary for them to be able to get what they want down the road in life. And it's not my job to tell them what that is, what they want. But I want them to be ready for it and have the ability to go get it whenever it is. And so I want guys that are about that, and guys that are about these kids and about having fun doing this. This game is too hard not to have fun playing it. So I'm going to have guys that are going to be great energy. Obviously, the X's and O's, that's a big part of it, but that's not what wins games. It's the relationships we build. It's guys that are going to play with a great effort because they know everybody's in it for the right reasons. Everybody's in it for each other. That's how you build a program, and so that's what I'm looking for. Anybody that is interested, I'd love to talk to you. Like I said, I've got a handful of guys lined up, ready to roll, and so the more good people I can have around our guys, the better. And like I said, I want a lot of community involvement in all different phases, even not coaching, but just I want the community involved, and I want us to be involved in the community. I want us to be great representation of Fountain Inn, as a middle school team, as a high school team, varsity team, all that stuff as we go. And so, anybody that is interested, that does want to talk with me about it, feel free. At Coach B Nichols is my Twitter. bnichols16@gmail.com is my email. I don't have a school email just yet. Reach out, let me know. I'll leave the Google form open, so you can always use that. But just like I said, reach out. I'd love to talk to you. And like I said, the more good people I can have around us, the better off we're going to be. All right. That gets a lot of them. Someone did ask me if I'm Danny's son. So if you asked me if I was Danny's son, I am not. My dad is John. But whoever Danny's son is, that's not me. So that wasn't one of the questions I got. Like I said, the biggest things I want people to understand is, as we move into this and as we're growing this program, we're going to do things the right way. And that's from the top down. That's, as a school, as a program, it doesn't matter. We're going to do things the right way. We're going to have fun doing it. Ultimate goal number one, I want to have more fun than any team in the state of South Carolina as we're playing, because everything else takes care of itself when you're out there having fun. We're going to be able to work a whole lot harder when we're having fun doing it. and we're going to be able to do a lot of things that are going to be required for us to win and be successful when we're having fun doing it. And so I'm excited about it, and I can't wait to meet everybody. Like I said, I hate having to do it this way, but I'm glad we have the capabilities of doing it, and at least getting it out there. But I want to make sure, as soon as we can, we get in front of everybody and we're able to spend some time and go into a whole lot more depth about, what I see this program growing into, my vision for it, and how I, see every young man that wants to be a part of it, being a part of it and growing it and to be successful. I'll leave the Google form open. So, any more questions that may pop up, feel free to shoot them in there. Biggest thing is, as we're growing into this thing, I see so many opportunities. People that are concerned with, oh, I'm going into this as ninth grade. Is it not better to go to somewhere that's been playing football for a lot longer and not just play? I understand, but I see a whole lot of opportunities. Going into a program, being a part of that program as it's being built. Down the road as we go every single year, being able to be a part of that and get our opportunities to be better and win for this community. And like I said, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about getting to meet everybody. I'm excited about working with all the young men that are going to be in this program. I'm excited about working with this community, and that's what I think is all about. And the X's and O's are important, but all that other stuff's a whole lot more important. So I haven't talked a whole lot about X's and O's. Anybody that's got any X's and O's questions, feel free to shoot them. Like I said, I love doing that too. But like I said, I've already talked a whole lot longer than I probably should have. So I apologize for that. But anything else that you may have questions on or anything like that, please feel free to send them in. I'll keep us updated. And like I said, be on the lookout for that information sheet that's going to be, we're going to be sending out so we can start compiling all this and getting our list together and getting out there. And I'll be calling kids up and starting to make introductions over the phone if we're still in a position where I can't see people yet. Thank you. Again, I'm excited about everything involved with the school and this program and just the community around it. And I can't wait to work with everybody. So